Okay, the issue I want to discuss, I feel like we discussed it last week and we're going to discuss it again, is basic instructions. Doesn't have anything to do with creative judgment, doesn't have anything to do with talent. It has to do with following basic instructions that are designed to save you and me time and create more efficiency. I signed on and worked over the weekend so that I could organize everything for this week. Went through all the emails. I tried to put all of your information into one email instead of multiple emails. I said clearly wants these emailed to her for client approval. And then when you didn't do that, and I questioned you about it, you refused to acknowledge that I didn't do that. I had said on the other spot, the tough breaks, don't do anything until I get back from the client, hear back the client approval, and the next email I get from you is, should I go ahead and make the changes? So I need for you to tell me what I can do differently to communicate with you simple procedures and practices so that we're not wasting each other's time.
Okay. All right, well, I don't know what you want from me, really.
I want you to read the email and digest what it says and follow the direction. If I'm not communicating if that's not the best way to communicate with you, then you just say, Kathy, I don't read emails. That's not the best way to communicate with me. We need to have a discussion instead of an email. Then we'll have a discussion. And then, but then that's going to require scheduling an appointment. I've spent way too much time thinking about this and worrying about how to deal with it,
Well, this whole interchange over email was just taken way out.
Okay, okay. Basic, bottom line. Needs the billboards for client approval.
Yes.
Did you or did you not read that?
No.
Did you okay, that is the problem. That is my problem.
I missed it because I was paying attention to the pertinent text of it.
No, Philip, that was pertinent text. It was in the top part of the email. It was in the top part of the email. It was not. I'm sorry. That's not a good enough answer. You have to read the email and you have to take your own notes, or we have to have it. You tell me. How can we avoid that?
Okay. Like I said, I remedied the situation. I went back.
That's not the point. That is not my point. I'm highly frustrated at this point with communication to you being not followed because you missed it, or because you didn't understand it, or because you thought you had a different way.
I was going through a bunch of emails. I mean, it's over the weekend. How many emails accumulate? I'm trying to get through it and be as efficient as possible. Yes, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Okay, but we've had 4 instances in the past week where I've communicated some sort of direction that was not followed or it was not understood, and no questions were asked.
Okay, which incident was that? Give me a specific.
Okay, we talked about 2 of them last week. I told you to check that DVD from operations to quickly figure out if you had any clips to...
Check what DVD?
The sports clips. Check the DVD in operations. You don't have to go through Media Manager. You don't have to spend all this time. You just have to look and see what clips they're using. We had a whole conversation about this, Philip, about this same topic we had a conversation about last week. I'll have to go back and see what the second one was. And then yesterday it was the needs to see the client for the billboard for client approval, and don't do anything else on this spot until I hear back from the client.
And that's
now, if you were the only producer that was not able to follow these simple instructions, you are the only producer that's not able to follow these simple instructions.
Kathy, this is a molehill you're making into a mountain.
No, it's a pattern that's diminished. It's a pattern of not following simple procedure and direction that is beginning to take a toll on my time and is causing you to be less efficient, which is a bigger issue in your performance altogether. So I'm asking you how to better communicate these details with you so that I can ensure that you read it and you follow the instruction. It's very simple instruction. And I need to be able to communicate it to you in a way that you're going to be able to read it and digest it and understand it, ask questions if you don't understand it, and take efficient action on it. I need you to tell me how that needs to work.
A lot of the things you're just making wrong assumptions. For one, I will point out to when I asked you if you wanted to proceed with the edit, just the edit only, because you said you were doing it anyway. So
I said not to do anything until I had got back to you on the.
But you also said
client
you were
approval.
doing it anyways. So there's confusion.
I
there.
said, here's the.
That's why I was following up with you, and you came back. That's a problem, Kathy. You are unapproachable on these things. You always bite people's heads off, and that's why people don't come to you. And that's the issue. I can't.
Okay, are we going to speak for the whole department again, or do you want to start giving me examples, and do we want to start that again, Philip?
I can't approach you sometimes, because see how offended you are right now? I can't even approach you with anything before you bite my head off. What I did, remedied the situation, you pointed it out, and I ran back to the station. I exported them out, and on top of that, it was nothing off me as far as getting all 4 of them out. I mean, I was there, might as well just export them all. Show some initiative just in case they wanted the other ones. Because you also mentioned, you also asked the other salesperson if you don't know if she wanted it or not.
Then I would expect you to ask, hey, did you hear back from? Does she need them too? But that's not the point. The point is that I'm giving you direction that you are not that you're missing, and I am extremely busy, and I am certainly too busy to be sitting here having this discussion with you about this issue. But to me, it has become a big enough issue that we need to have a discussion. And when you sit there and say everybody's afraid to talk to me because I bite their head off, then do we need to go to HR and have another investigation into me and how everybody thinks I'm biting their head off? I expect, I'm asking you to help me remedy the situation, the difficulty I'm having communicating with you, and I'm asking you to tell me how I need to relay the details of the project more efficiently to you.
Last week there was an issue with a POP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You told me that I need to come to you as far as that footage or.
Oh, that was the other one. I said clearly, we need to include this in the POP. We need to include the advancement of the story in the POP.
Okay.
That was the other one. And if you had a question about that, Kathy, I can't get this footage. What would you like me to do? And you know what the solution was that y'all went and found the raw footage. But go find the raw footage. You can include it. Just because they didn't make it onto the clean air check feed doesn't mean that the material doesn't exist and that you can't do it. And so you didn't. Instead, you went and edited and almost rendered the whole thing with old material that made us look dated, instead of with the new material that I had said to put in the POP.
See, the only email I recall getting was from Lorena,
but
and I thought that was Lorena's suggestion. I didn't know where that suggestion was coming from.
Well, either one of our suggestions, but I included it in several emails that I sent out.
Okay.
I mean, I can go back and find all these, Philip, and I'm asking you to help me communicate with you better so that we don't have these issues, because I feel that there's a pattern that has developed of just basic.
But when that footage wasn't there, I notified Lorena. If I had I known it came directly from you instead of.
Well,
Lorena,
I'll go find where it did come directly from me.
Okay.
Okay.
Had I known it came directly from you.
Okay, but it did come directly from me.
Had I known that, I would have come to you.
Well, then it's another detail that you missed out of the email.
Well, you do know I have ADD, okay?
And I'm asking you how I can communicate with you better so that you can remember things.
You have to accept the fact that sometimes I miss particular details.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to be.
I am willing to work with you, Philip.
Okay.
However, you are expected to perform at the same level of the other producers in the department, and you are expected to take simple details and execute them. And if we need to modify the way that these details are communicated to you, I'm asking you what the most efficient way to do that is. But it's not going to change. The work needs to be done, and it needs to be done efficiently. Okay? You need to tell me how I can help you remember the details and you need to think yourself about how you can process the information so that you are following the direction.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right, for that email for yesterday where you want me to get, because you're talking to so many different people, and probably skipped all of that because I thought you were talking to other people. And I was going directly to the copy, which was where my focus was. So probably the best way is just to highlight it. Just highlight that line.
Is it reasonable for you to print it out and read the whole thing and highlight your own information? In other words, I don't know that I'm going to be in a position where I can highlight, but then a lot of times there are things in the email that pertain to you that you need to know.
Okay.
So can you print it out and highlight it?
How about preface it with Philip? And whatever, dash whatever.
Okay.
So that way I can immediately go to that, because I'll spot my name quickly.
I will do that, but I'm also going to have to ask you to, and I've tried to consolidate the number of emails I send to you. I really have. I really have tried to manage the situation. I put both of those emails in the. I put both of those billboard emails in one email, so you didn't have 100 different emails. Would you rather have each project have a separate email? Would that help you? That's one idea I had. I'm thinking he's getting too many emails. I need to consolidate the information into, so you're only dealing with one email. Or what you're saying, that you would rather have one project per email. I can accommodate that.
Yeah, that can work.
Okay. I'm asking you to help me, but I want you to understand my frustration level.
Okay. Just know that, I'm not being deliberately negligent. I thought I was doing pretty good as far as trying to be efficient and trying to get that stuff out.
We're not talking. All we're doing is talking about the fact that you don't always follow the direction that I have communicated, which causes both of us to waste time that neither one of us has to waste.
All right.
Okay. And so the second part of that is we need to have a solution for that. So the solutions that we're coming away with right now is that I'm going to have one project per email. I'm going to highlight what pertains to you, and you are going to, in turn, read every email carefully, read the whole thing so that you didn't miss anything, and then if there's something that I didn't highlight that you need to know, you're going to highlight it for yourself.
Okay.
Is that a reasonable first step toward solving this situation?
Yeah.
I mean, again, regardless of what your situation is, regardless of anybody, everybody has to perform at a certain level of productivity. When we get these two positions filled, cannot wait, because it's eating into my time as well. But unfortunately for now, and I've assigned you what I feel to be the simplest, most straightforward productions, except for that we are using to cover for sales.
Yeah.
Okay, and I answer emails efficiently. I answer them quickly. So when you say I'm unapproachable, sometimes when you walk in the door, I can't stop everything I'm doing and pay attention to the issue. But when I get an email, I'm pretty good at answering it in a fairly timely manner. And then when there's something you don't understand, I need to hear from you, and I need to clarify for you in an efficient and timely manner.
Okay.
And I'm asking you for advice and solutions on how to make this run smoother. And I've come up with some, and that's what we're going to try.
Okay.
You're welcome to come back tomorrow and send me some others, but that's...
All right. let me tell you how I feel personally about the whole email interchange. Is that I thought it was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was taking initiative,
Mm-hmm.
and you just
My issue was not with your initiative. My issue was the fact that you missed the critical part of the email about sending them to. It's not about anything else. That is my problem. That you did not read that part of the email, that you did not follow that direction. What you did above and beyond that in your mind is not what we're talking about. We're talking about that's not the problem. The problem is that you didn't read the direction in the email, which caused me to go back and say, hey, remember I said I needed these for client approval.
yes.
Okay, that is, but you know, that's what it's about, Philip. That's what this conversation is about.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to relay that I thought it was doing good. I thought it was taking initiative, and this is not even my position. And I'm trying to take this initiative, and it's like it's like you're stifling initiative, and it just, you understand how it just unmotivates a person to want to do good or better.
You're turning this into you're turning it around and making it my problem that you didn't follow my direction. That's what I feel like you're doing. And
No.
the discussion that we're having.
No, I'll take blame for that, for
Okay.
not following direction.
Okay, and
But the whole-
and
it
the
was, like I
frustration
said,
and the
it was-
time efficiency that increases.
It was a molehill that was made into a mountain. And I just find that discouraging.
Okay. And I find the pattern of not following simple directions and not asking questions when you don't understand extremely frustrating.
Okay.
It's a two-way thing, Philip. My reaction to you is being affected by your lack of attention to detail. And so the solution is to work together to find a better way to make this happen, understanding that there's got to be a solution and that you have some work to do in this area as well.
Okay.
Sometimes taking initiative wastes time, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to, don't do that, because you're just going to have to do it again when the client comes, don't, I try to be specific.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't understand why you continued on.
Do you understand why now?
But I didn't understand why, because just adding those 2 extra spots, yeah. But it's
because my frustration was escalated because then you didn't follow direction again.
Okay. But like I said, I was trying to follow your direction with the other one, with the because you said you were going to do it anyways, so that's why I needed clarification, and then you came back saying I didn't follow your direction.
I said not to do anything on it until change is going to be required. Don't do anything until I get back to you with the client's other revisions. That's what I said.
Yeah, you had a follow-up email. Because you mentioned you were doing it anyways, and then something about that you're going to hear back from the client and something like that. But you did mention about that you wanted to add a end plate, but I called it
Yeah.
I called it end plate, which was a mistake.
Right, and then so I think you haven't understood my email, Philip. Do you not get that?
Yeah, it's just a word. It's a difference
I
of words.
know.
Sometimes I call them all end plates.
Okay.
It's like a full page graphic or a leader plate, And I just think it was just a mountain out of a molehill, and
Okay, but it's a pattern that it's an escalation of things for me that turned it into the mountain. It was like it did. And,
but like I said, that's when I emailed to get clarification. That's why I'm saying you're unapproachable sometimes, because I emailed to get clarification and you just assumed I didn't follow your direction again.
Because you said you made a new end page and I didn't say anything about an end page.
And
Be careful about the
that.
words that you choose.
And I did correct that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so again, 1 email per project. Highlight what's important to you in a group email. You're going to read the whole thing and highlight what else might be important to you in the email that you think you need to know. and you're going to work on your own method of taking notes, or however, taking notes from the email or whatever you need to do to get it, and you're going to ask questions when you don't understand.
Okay, and lead it with my name so I can spot it real quick.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to do the highlight, just lead it with my name.
I'll do the best I can to organize it for you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Thanks.